Welcome to the University of Maryland's 2020 commencement ceremony for the College of Information Studies, the iSchool. I'm Keith Marzullo. I'm the Dean of the iSchool, and we're all so glad to share this special day with you. I truly wish we could do this in person. I miss hearing the cheers when your names are announced, having a front row view of seeing you dance across the stage and shaking your hand. As you know, you've all been invited to participate in the upcoming December commencement ceremonies, and I look forward to seeing all of you there. What we're doing here now illustrates what we're good at in the iSchool: being agile, being innovative, and understanding how we can use technology to accomplish something good for people. This is who we are: students, faculty, staff, alumni, and I couldn't be more proud of all of you. As iSchool graduates, you have a unique understanding of how to apply information technology to solving problems and helping people. You're change makers with a shared passion to serve and to do good, whether that's creating a world-changing information technology, protecting us from misinformation and disinformation, or helping someone find the information they need. Our alumni exemplify these skills. Let me mention three. Zara Ajtarab, a PhD graduate who studies ways to accurately detect cyberbullying and develop best design practices for cyberbullying mitigation. She's now a researcher at IBM TJ Watson, where she continues to study social technologies and AI systems and their influence on user behavior and interaction. Jamuna Sundararajan, a MIM graduate and the president and CEO of Cyberbond Federal Solutions, LLC. Through her company, she works with the federal government to find innovative and productive ways to use technology such as Agile and blockchain. And MLS graduate Julius Jefferson, a section head of the Library of Congress Congressional Research Service, which provides policy analysis for Congress. Julius is also the president-elect of the American Library Association, where he has also led efforts to protect the First Amendment rights of library patrons. Now it's your turn to go out and make the world a better place. This is a time of great uncertainty, of sorrow, and of challenges. We need graduates like you now, graduates who know how to use technology and information to connect people, create new opportunities, and improve lives. In 1963, in a speech in Germany in the context of the deepening Cold War, President Kennedy said, quote, "Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future." Graduates, look forward to the future. We're all counting on you. And now, our library and staff would like to share the congratulations with you. Thank you.
My fellow graduates and friends, it is both an honor and a privilege to speak to you all today. We are here today because we were vulnerable at one point in time or another, and for that, we've already won. We knowingly or unknowingly chose to take risks and make sacrifices, and it's paying off. Many of us would best describe our journey to this day as a long and dreadful obstacle course. For me, it was one that involved multiple arenas, each representing an institution. I started my higher education journey at Montgomery College after I graduated from high school, and it has been one of the best decisions I've ever made, mainly because it prepared me for failure, or better yet, it prepared me for calculus. At MC, I enrolled in applied business calculus. The first few weeks of the course were geared towards pre-calculus concepts I had learned in high school, so I received A's and B's, and it felt like I was on a roll, until, of course, that hurdle, derivatives. Each time I received an F on an exam or a D on an assignment, it felt like I kept tripping over the hurdles but still trying to complete the course, until finally, I decided to drop the course and start it over again. Anxious but ready to get it over with, I re-enrolled into calculus the following semester and ended up receiving an A. Fast forward to the beginning of my senior year, where I thought failure and I were making progress in our relationship. I was excited but anxious to plan for life after college. Many job applications and LinkedIn introductions later, Microsoft emailed me stating that they would like to interview me for consultant position. Still not fully aware that one of the largest tech companies in the world was interested in me, I completed my initial interview with the recruiter, which was one of the hardest interviews I've ever had. That same week, they emailed me back congratulating me for moving forward onto the final round of interviews, where they would fly me out to their Charlotte location. While researching and preparing for that interview, I realized how scared I felt. The big day came, and I was interviewed by 3 Microsoft employees who have previously worked in the position I applied for. While questions like, why is diversity in tech so important, made me feel so relieved and prepared to answer. Other questions like, tell me about a time where you worked in multiple teams and failed, made me feel as though failure would meet me anywhere, even in a room that signifies the exact opposite. Weeks went by, and unfortunately, I didn't get the job. When I got the news, I was so hard on myself. I contemplated that uncomfortable question of working in multiple teams and how I could have answered that better. I blamed myself when the truth was I just wasn't the right fit for them, and at the time, Microsoft wasn't the right fit for me. Months later, I had realized that this story, along with all the others, had one thing in common: vulnerability. In each case, I showed up and did the best I could no matter the outcome. So in all cases, I won. Dear graduates, don't let your fear overwhelm your desire. You will never know what you're capable of unless you try. And only after trying you will win and achieve all of your goals and dreams. Thank you, and congrats to the class of 2020. I'd now like to introduce Karina Kletcher, the iSchool 2020 graduate student speaker.
Greetings and thank you to the iSchool administrators, faculty, and staff, loving family and friends, and to my peers in the graduating class of 2020. My name is Karina Kletcher, and I am a master's student in the Library and Information Science degree program. In undergrad, my outdoor commencement ceremony set a record heat. The first commencement I produced in my previous life and events, same place, outdoors, had rained for the first time in over 125 years. And now here we are in another kind of unprecedented situation, the first virtual commencement. In all seriousness, the past few weeks have brought to mind a letter from one of my favorite poets, Rainer Maria Rilke. It's about sorrow and solitude. What a downer, but bear with me. It's about the moment in crossing where everything familiar and customary has been taken from us. So here we are, in this moment, this commencement, in what modern meaning has deemed the start of a new chapter in our lives. It's kind of a crazy time in mental space to be thinking about commencing anything, am I right? But Rilke offers another gem on the only courage which is demanded of us, to be brave in the face of the strangest, most singular, and most inexplicable things that can befall us. At the risk of sounding like a promotional material, here at UMD and the iSchool, we are no strangers to fearless ideas. I think we all just collectively cringed. I always bristle at the word fearless. What does it mean to have no fear? Even Batman has fears. He channels them in his costume and namesake, but he acts in spite of them, showing courage. Courage that I've already seen in the 2020 class. We're not crime-fighting vigilantes per se, though Barbara Gordon, the first Batgirl, was a librarian who became Oracle, a computer scientist and intelligence provider. Coincidence? Another wise soul, Brené Brown, reminds us that the root of the word courage is cor, the Latin word for heart. Courage originally meant to speak one's mind by telling all one's heart, Ordinary courage is about putting our vulnerability on the line. Renee, this 2020 class fits the bill. I have been beside you when you challenged preconceived notions, confronted world issues both complicated and just plain wrong. I listened to embrace your empathy, defend individuals and communities, and advocate for their information needs on behalf of justice, inclusion, and diversity. I've watched you leap at opportunities, teach for the first time, submit publications, build projects from the ground up. These things you didn't know would turn out, and sometimes didn't, but you always picked yourself up and tried again. All these things require courage, and this doesn't even count the courage it took to get here, what you experienced, overcame, and accomplished, whether it was in a few short years or spread out across many semesters. It's not easy, and I'm humbled by you. I'm proud of you, and I'm so thankful for this vulnerable and courageous space we made with each other. I know that as we ford this proverbial crossing, you will all continue to demonstrate the courage required for yourself, for our users, and for our information profession wherever it may lead you. Congratulations, class of 2020. And now, please enjoy snapshots of our time at UMD and the iSchool.